Good day, dear audience. To your attention is the recording of the presentation Electronic Library as Modern Information Center, produced by the group of authors, namely Viktoriia Dobrovolska, Liudmyla Cherednyk, Yuliia Hunchenko, Snizhana Dobrovolska, and Nestor Dumanskyi. The article and the presentation examine the current problems of libraries in terms of modern globalized society and transformational processes associated with their turning into important social institution that performs information and communication functions. The purpose of the article and the presentation is to analyze functioning of electronic library as a new form of information environment, which enables its transformation into a modern information center of society. Library is a social institution that performs information and communication functions in society. Today's realities make libraries use the latest technologies in their activities, look for the most popular forms of electronic information interaction with their users. The main objective of libraries has always been collection, storage, distribution, production, and use of publicly available information. For now, libraries should turn information into a valuable national potential on which sustainable development of the entire Ukrainian society may depend. What is an electronic library? Electronic library is a collection of electronic resources and associated technical capabilities for creating, searching, and using information. It is characterized by dynamism and global access. The main difference between electronic library and other types of information systems is its ability to accumulate and use information in the form of documents. Electronic library functioning objectives include integration of information resources and effective navigation within them. Integration of information resources means their unification for the purpose of using different information. In addition to technical support, function of electronic library suggests appropriate organizational, personal, and environmental support, as well as feedback from the user. As a center of publicly available information, it requires users' advanced computer and information literacy. Electronic libraries have become quite popular in Ukraine nowadays. Generalization of experience of historical and cultural heritage, electronic resources formation became the basis for development of the original model and information architecture of the National E-Library Ukrainica by the Vernadsky National Library of Ukraine. Ukrainica Electronic Library Project is aimed at accumulating in digital format works in all languages, regardless of the place of publication, about the Ukrainian people, the territory of Ukraine, and about all peoples who lived or live within its borders. This will provide users of the e-library with knowledge about Ukraine, its people, its history, traditions and culture, developed political nation and state formed by it. The core of the Electronic Library Fund is digitized documents of Ukrainian studies from the collections of the National Library of Ukraine, digital sources of the national heritage. In particular, significant information array is creation of electronic resource of the National Bibliography of Ukraine. Internet resources are included in the unified search system of the e-library, together with other electronic documentary information sources. Ukrainian culture, Yaroslav Mudry National Library of Ukraine, is aimed at integration of the people of Ukrainian culture into the European and world information space, strengthening cultural ties and forming a positive image of Ukraine in the world, as well as ensuring equal opportunity for free access of users to the assets of Ukrainian culture and art using the internet, providing users with qualitatively new opportunities to work with integrated information resource of libraries, museums, and other cultural institutions in a single access point, creation of electronic copies of printed documents for preservation of cultural heritage located in the funds of libraries and other cultural institutions, and prevention of physical wearing of documents. Electronic library as integrated information system contains funds for electronic resources, catalog for electronic resource fund, a complex of hardware and software tools that support stable operation of the search system and provide the possibility of prompt replenishment, registration, long-term storage of the electronic library fund, and distributed access to it via the internet. The project called Diasporiana is aimed at achieving the following goals: strengthening cultural connection and forming a positive image of Ukraine in the world, ensuring possibility of free access of users to the properties of the Ukrainian immigration using the internet, creating electronic copies of printed documents stored in the fund of libraries and other cultural institutions and private collection in order to preserve intellectual heritage and prevent physical loss of documents. The project called Libraria is carried out in cooperation with libraries, archives, and scientific institutions in Ukraine and abroad. The goal of the Libraria project is to digitize and provide online access to the largest possible array of Ukrainian historical periodicals. In conclusion, we may say that under conditions of information society development, a modern library has every chance to exist and to occupy key places among sources of information only if the mission of libraries is restored and its transformation into a center of providing modern information services that will satisfy the needs of society. The necessity and importance of electronic libraries was once again proven by the events in Ukraine after the invasion of the Russian Federation. According to the data, as of May 2023, more than 600 libraries were damaged because of hostilities and occupation. That is why creation of electronic libraries enables preservation and availability of rare and unique documents that are of great importance for the cultural heritage of mankind. Thank you for attention.